Daddy's gotta go to work.
Dwayne Johnson is what most people would call the peak alpha male.
When this whole thing is over, we're gonna find a location, and I'm gonna knock your teeth so far down your throat, you're gonna stick a toothbrush right up your ass to brush them.
It's like we're talking about the King Flex himself. I mean, he has it all, doesn't he? A pro wrestling career, the highest paid actor on Forbes, and a filmography that's so vast, you could call him the Snoop Dogg of cinema. So today, the TVCU brings to you the top 10 rock flexes in the movies. Alright then, time to get your smolder on.
Hey Mia, you better hide your baby or I'm just playing.
You better hide that big ass forehead.
The Fast and the Furious franchise is the unwanted gift that we won't stop taking, but one of the few highlights of the series is the inclusion of Dwayne Johnson as Hobbs. Now, the hunky commander might not like to show off his credentials as much as you'd imagine, but he sure knows how to violate Tyrese Gibson. The dude tries to act smart by mentioning The Rock's favourite baby oil, and as expected, it doesn't end too well for him as Hobbs simply says,
You better hide that big ass forehead.
That line was so savage that even Ludacris couldn't control his laughter. Yep, that wasn't scripted, it was a legitimate gag. I mean, Tyrese should have known better than to pick beef with The Rock. That kind of stuff only ends one way. Also, Dwayne Johnson is a rapper now. Do you really want him to dish you over some sick beats as well?
Which one of these things is $1?
It's on the house.
Heroes don't kill people.
Well, I do.
Okay, I don't want to head into spoiler territory, so this entry is based on the trailer, okay? We all know Black Adam is to be an overpowered god, somewhat along the lines of Superman. Now, I don't know whether we'll be able to see a Henry Cavill versus Dwayne Johnson matchup, but a fan can only hope, right? Anyway, Black Adam has two flexes that I really want to mention from the trailer. First is the emotional speech he gives about his son sacrificing himself to turn him into a god. It's a powerful moment that shows us the sensitive side of the conflicted hero, but the real flex arrives when he says,
Now, I kneel before no one.
yeah, maybe stay away from Daenerys Targaryen if that's your motto. Also, I want to shout out the moment where he's confronted by Hawkman for his actions. He says that heroes don't kill people, but then Black Adam simply responds by saying,
Well, I do.
it's a short retort, but it really does the job, because let's face it, anti-heroes have always been the craze. Speaking of which, did you manage to analyze the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer? I'm pretty sure we could read the plot off those lips.
These powers are not a gift, but a curse. Born out of rage.
Did you bring the cavalry?
Woman, I am the cavalry.
Anyone who's seen Dwayne Johnson will know that he's easily final boss material.
You just earned yourself a dance with the devil, boy.
Just look at his size. He could easily play the Hulk without even needing the CGI boosters. But in the Fast and Furious 7, Michelle Rodriguez doesn't seem to think he's enough. I mean, she literally asks him if he's brought the cavalry to carry out his rescue operation. Well, I don't know what you're looking at, Michelle, because all I see is an overpowered beast with a smolder to die for. Anyway, Hobbs ain't got time to explain himself, so he shuts down his haters with a simple line,
Woman, I am the cavalry.
oh yeah, now that's how you establish dominance, bro. Andrew Tate's got nothing on you.
Breathe and vape. You don't need air.
Well, I guess Michelle forgot that The Rock's most powerful guns are his biceps.
You see, I'm a good guy. But sometimes I do bad things.
Netflix really doesn't have the kind of hits it used to command back when it was all the rage. However, they did manage to put together a somewhat enjoyable flick in Red Notice. Yeah, it ain't a work of art, but it is slim pickings nowadays. Rings of power, I'm looking at you. Anyway, you'd imagine that people like Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot would easily steal the show, but it's The Rock who puts in a spectacular performance as a notorious double agent. His plans might have a lot of plot armor, but I'm only interested in the flexes here. Yeah, I'm talking about his self-declaration where he says,
I'm a good guy. But sometimes I do bad things.
not only does that sum up his entire character in the movie, it also serves as a nice pickup line. I can totally imagine someone like Deadpool using it on Colossus. Wouldn't you agree?
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
What the
When this whole thing is over, we're gonna find a location, and I'm gonna knock your teeth so far down your throat, you're gonna stick a toothbrush right up your ass to brush them.
We're well aware of the bromance between Hobbs and Shaw, although it does get a little bit too violent at times. We see that in full effect when the leads have yet another one of their endless arguments, and Shaw decides to act cool by saying,
Shame I'm gonna have to bounce your head off the fender when this is all over.
now that kind of British humour might work for Jason Statham, but Hobbs puts him in his place by saying,
When this whole thing is over, we're gonna find a location, and I'm gonna knock your teeth so far down your throat, you're gonna stick a toothbrush right up your ass to brush them.
Yeah, I mean, that was a little bit too detailed for my liking, but it does establish Hobbs as the alpha male between them, and I, for one, am glad that I don't have to deal with such a partner. Also, how does that kind of dental hygiene even work? Won't he just get more cavities if he tries that technique?
I was born of the sea. I eat fire coral and I piss salt water.
Yes, I know this is one disaster of a movie, but hey, at least we got to see The Rock being The Rock. Look, I'm not very familiar with the character names, so I'm just going to stick with the real ones for this entry, okay? The scene in question is when the evil Priyanka Chopra takes a pre-surgery Zac Efron as her hostage and threatens to kill him if Dwayne Johnson doesn't let her escape. That's when the hunky baldy gives her an inspirational speech where he says,
I was born of the sea. I eat fire coral and I piss salt water.
He declares a couple more things after that, but the first few lines were real flexes, because I can actually imagine The Rock in those scenarios. That's all it takes for Dwayne to load up his cannon and shoot the villain to smithereens, thus saving the day. Look out, Aquaman, the sea has a new prince.
I'm oceanic, mother.
That is your destiny.
I make my own destiny.
Even a dude as iconic as The Rock has had some embarrassing moments from his past. No, I'm not talking about that Chinese lesson he gave back when he was a WWE wrestler.
Ding bong, ding dong, he's Stone Cold Aye.
This is about his role as the Scorpion King, an attempted spin-off of the successful Mummy franchise from the early 2000s. Well, that movie might have been a disaster, but there is one scene where Dwayne Johnson takes the cake. It's after he successfully commands his subjects to worship him as their new king, and then he talks to his prophecy queen about the future. She says that nothing lasts forever, but The Rock simply says,
I make my own destiny.
To top it off, he steals a sneaky kiss from his lady friend right in front of his audiences who cheer him on. Oh, now that's how you land a smooch. Aspiring playboys, take note of this one. But don't come running to me if you get a slap instead of a kiss, okay?
Take a breath.
God's be praised.
Who the hell are you?
I'm what you call an ice cold can of whoop-ass.
Luke Hobbs really got into his own zone after joining the Fast and Furious army, didn't he? Of course, some of his sassiest moments are shown in Hobbs and Shaw, and an iconic one is when he proudly claims,
I'm what you call an ice cold can of whoop-ass.
well, I don't really need to explain what that line's supposed to mean, it's just freaking awesome, isn't it? Also, I'm not sure if you know this, but I could sense some inspiration from The Rock's pro wrestling buddy Steve Austin. I mean, the dude is stone cold, and he always likes to follow his finishes with a can of beer. So yeah, I guess that was just Dwayne showing some love from one wrestler to another. However, I think I could speak for everyone when I say that he's much better off as an actor than he is a rambling menace.
What's it here, Raj?
Yeah.
On the gridiron, we do it my way. Not your way, my way.
I guess this is a movie that only The Rock superfans will recognize. By that, I'm effectively rooting out Gen Z brats, because come on, their favorite actor would probably be like Jake Paul. Anyway, Gridiron Gang is a touching movie about a bunch of dudes who hope to fulfill their football aspirations under their coach, Dwayne freaking Johnson. The scene in question is when the coach is giving the team an inspirational speech, and he really gets into his zone by saying,
The gridiron is a football field. On the gridiron, we play football.
if that wasn't dominating enough, he reinforces his position when he says,
On the gridiron, we do it my way. Not your way, my way.
That makes it sound a bit harsh, but definitely showcases his confidence and makes it known to the boys that they better not mess with their new coach. Man, I sure miss the early days.
And you are worthy of something. And you're able to do something special, which you can walk through those doors, hold your heads up high, and call yourselves Mustangs.
I mean, do you really believe you can stand in front of me?
I will beat your ass like a Cherokee drum.
Oh boy, this movie sure has a lot of entries today, including my number one pick. We've seen The Rock getting angry, and believe me, it ain't pretty. This notion is reinforced when Hobbs has an argument with Shaw whilst they're both wrongfully imprisoned. Now, to be fair, Hobbs is just punching the wall trying to channel his inner Mike Tyson. However, Shaw keeps taunting him, and then they get into a war of words. That's when the annoying Brit openly challenges Hobbs to a fist fight, and then we're treated to this gem of a line.
One-on-one, no one else around. I will beat your ass like a Cherokee drum.
Like, bro, chill. That's way too much aggression, especially when you're buffer than a cheeseburger. The hunky baldy actually gets a chance right after that, but he surprisingly takes the high road and refuses to attack. Good on you, bro.
No. All right, this is my house, and your goddamn girlfriend ain't going anywhere.
That's disgusting. That is my sister.
Bullshit. She's too good looking to be your sister.
And that's my list. Like, share, and subscribe if you want more Rock content, and hit me up on the exclusive links in the description. Alright then, I'll see you next time on the TV Regent.